Russia has branded Boris Johnson utterly confused and slammed Liz Truss's poor geography knowledge as diplomats ramped up the rhetoric over Ukraine today. Dmitry Peskov, Putin's spokesman, said the Russian president is ready to provide explanations on the situation in Eastern Europe even to someone who is utterly confused after Mr. Johnson cancelled a call with the Kremlin on Monday. And Maria Zakharova, spokesman for Russia's foreign ministry, took aim at Ms Truss after she mistakenly said that Britain will support our Baltic allies across the Black Sea, two different bodies of water more than 700 miles apart. Mrs. Truss, your knowledge of history is nothing compared to your knowledge of geography, she wrote in a blog post. If anyone needs saving from anything, it's the world, from the stupidity and ignorance of British politicians. Russia has the UK in its sights since Westminster began lending military support to Ukraine, sending hundreds of anti-tank missiles to Kiev to deter a Russian attack. Tensions ramped up further this week, when Boris Johnson cancelled a call with Vladimir Putin on Monday in order to defend himself against allegations of breaking lockdown rules in Parliament. Mr. Johnson then flew to Kiev yesterday where he lent his full-throated support to President Zelensky, threatening to sanction Moscow if even one towcat crosses the border into Ukraine. Asked about the cancelled call on Wednesday, Mr. Peskov shot back, "As you know, we have not announced any call with Prime Minister Johnson, and are not going to announce it any further." It makes sense to speak to anybody. Russia and President Putin are open to communicating with everyone. Even to someone who is utterly confused, he is prepared to provide exhaustive explanations, he added. Mr. Peskov also gave White House spokesman Jen Psaki a tongue-lashing, after she compared Russia to a fox standing on a henhouse screaming that it is being threatened by chickens. It's always traditional to compare Russia to a bear. But a bear can't stand on a chicken coop. It is too big and heavy, he said. The swipes came a day after Putin spoke about the Ukraine crisis publicly for the first time this year, accusing Washington of trying to lure Moscow into war by insisting on the possibility that Kiev could join NATO one day. It's already clear now that fundamental Russian concerns were ignored, Putin said on Tuesday. He described a potential future scenario in which Ukraine was admitted to NATO and then attempted to recapture the Crimea Peninsula, territory Russia seized in 2014. Are we supposed to go to war with the NATO bloc? Has anyone given that any thought? Apparently not, he said. Washington and its allies have said they will not send troops to protect Ukraine from a Russian attack, but would send arms to help Ukrainians defend themselves and respond with financial sanctions against Moscow. Russia, which is still Europe's main energy supplier despite being under US and EU sanctions since annexing Crimea from Ukraine in 2014, has brushed off additional sanctions as an empty threat. Peskov said Washington's behavior was unpredictable, and Moscow was taking steps to mitigate the effects of sanctions. Washington and its allies have rejected Russia's two main demands, that Ukraine be barred from ever joining NATO and that deployments of troops in Eastern European countries that join the alliance after the end of the Cold War be rolled back. Spanish newspaper El País released what it said was a leaked copy of a U.S. response to Russian demands, in which Washington offered talks with Moscow on an agreement for both sides to refrain from stationing offensive missiles or troops in Ukraine. Washington could also provide reassurance that it had no cruise missiles in Poland or Romania, and discuss steps to prevent dangerous incidents at air or sea, said the document, which appeared to be in line with the public U.S. position.